Good morning and welcome, or actually good afternoon. I filmed it a bit later on today because I spent the morning finishing or getting a guitar ready to start the finishing process. So anyway, good afternoon. Welcome to this week's weekly Moar YouTube workshop video diary thing. As yet unnamed. We had a few suggestions last time, but nothing that I felt like about. Anyway, this week I have mostly been working on this bad boy right here. Last time, if you remember, it was not strung up. Obviously, there were no pickups on it, and I was saying how it was almost done. And I thought it could be fun to maybe talk about what done is, because nothing's ever really finished, right? You just have to say when you're kind of done with it. So yeah, last time, if I remember correctly, the back was basically oiled up and it was it felt kind of alright, but I felt actually after videoing last week's episode, I felt like the neck wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. There's a lot of touching involved. I do have tools to measure it, and but yeah, I mean, the neck was fine. It was definitely good enough. I think some people probably would have shipped it as it was. But I actually spent the rest of Friday, I stripped the finish off the back of the neck, and I actually reprofiled it, which just meant taking off like, a mil here and there, and just getting it so it fits the hand a little bit better. And now it's pretty perfect. So that was Friday, and then, yeah, it takes me anyway a really long time. The final part of the process, everything affects everything else. So you get, like for example, the neck being finished then means I can start thinking about getting the nut right, and then the nut being finished means I can start thinking about the bridge. But then when the bridge is attached, the nut has to be changed a little bit, and if I change the nut, it might be actually I now want to work the neck a little bit more because there's something around there. So everything's kind of getting better, with the next thing, which then means that you have to go back to the beginning again. So it takes a really, really long time. Anyway, this guitar now is strung up, it's wired up. It works. I'll plug it in a second. Sounds really good, but it still needs maybe another week of my time. I like to. New guitars can kind of move around quite a lot, or they don't often actually, but it's possible for new guitars to move around. I actually like to leave it in my workshop for, I don't know, a good few weeks, ideally over a month actually, under string tension, in tune, intonated correctly, and I pick it up every couple of days, maybe every day. Just make sure, play the same. Make sure it's still in tune, still working okay, and I still like it, and I still, I still really believe in the neck. It's happened quite a few times where I've actually had a guitar booked in for shipping, and I have given it its final once over, and something's just not quite felt good enough, and I've ended up cancelling shipping and apologising to the customer. I don't charge any more. It's my loss really, but. So far, everyone has been really happy with what they've received, and I kind of want to keep it that way. But yeah, and then it takes a really long time. And then also whilst it's in the workshop, it's possible it might get a little dent or a ding. Like for example, this guitar now has a few kind of scratches on it, light scratches, but scratches from drilling the pots. Yesterday I drilled the control locations, and actually I don't like to drill them until the guitar is kind of playable. Was acoustically. So if you can see with my hand, I play a few chords, and I like the controls to be exactly where you'd want them to be. Like I don't, but so yeah, I actually wait until the guitar is basically strung up, the cavity, the control cavity is routed. I also write with the customer an awful lot. Me and Will's guitar. We were writing quite a lot yesterday about exactly which pot he wanted nearest and what was most important, and that type of thing. And but yeah, drilling the control holes at the very end means it's very possible I actually dropped the drill bit stupidly on the top, so I'll have to sand it down again, put a bit more oil on, polish it up again. Yeah, everything takes time, but it's all really, really worth it. I'll just quickly plug this in, just make sure everything still works. Volume's down. What do we have here? Really kind of pokey pickups. They are Fralin. I get Lola and Fralin confused all the time. So if I'm saying Fralin, they're probably Lola. I'm pretty sure they're Fralins. Very full. And that's totally clean, yeah. And then got in the Onkel Space Ape. Actually, let's talk a bit about the pedals. So this is the Onkel amplified amplification. Sorry, it's a tube-powered reverb pedal with a drive circuit built in. Right now, the only thing on is this. Everything else is off. So it's clean, and then it adds a bit of grit. A bit more grit. That's that. And then, but this is almost always on my board, and these two are almost always on. The Germanium boost. It's fantastic. This is great. Yeah, anyway, they're great. And I really, I played the guitar for a while actually today. I really like it. Actually, I love it. I'm happy to get behind it. You can see also I've not drilled the pin locations yet. I think Will wanted to been quite. He has great taste, but very specific taste. We spoke for a long time about where the pickups were going to be, and we deliberated for a while about that. And the neck width is to exactly his measurements, and so I actually had to make a few necks for this guitar. And it's a compound radius fretboard, which I do by hand actually. So it's been a really long process. This is the first guitar I started in this workshop. I remember now, and it was back in January. And yeah, I've kind of also come to terms with the fact that these guitars take a really long time to build. I'm kind of letting myself, I'm letting myself, you know, be okay with that. I spent so much of this year really rushing and trying to get these guitars done as fast as I can, and actually it doesn't really help. But yeah, this guitar, so next week, the nut, I need to do my my kind of scalloped nut thing so that you get a little bit more sustain from the nut, a bit more resonance. Final polish, the frets, final check. Stupid stuff, oiling the tuners, making sure that they are, you know, equally tight. These little extra details make a real difference on how I think a guitar performs. Yeah, that's that one. What else happened this week, if anything? I think that was it. I was a little bit sick. My son came home with a cough from kindergarten. Not the coronavirus. We had a test. But I think that's everything that I did this week. Oh, and some I did a little bit of CNC design for pickup cavities. Nothing fascinating. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you find this type of thing relatively interesting. And I hope you have a great week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.